What's up, guys? Got a 2007 Vulcan 1600 here, and the problem that I'm having is that when it's really hot outside, probably with the radiant temp, outside temp, probably 198, 99 degrees, I'm having a issue with the bike shutting down. Not when you're riding. It runs fine when you're riding. It might start backfiring here and there, but when you shut it off, it will not start up again. So I have done a couple of things to this point. I have checked to make sure there's no code, so I have scanned it. There are no codes in the system. I have looked at connectors, make sure there's no corrosion on anything. Now, I got this bike on a trade-in. So a guy traded me this for my boat, and it runs great all year round until last year, which is the same year that I got it, when it was really hot outside. We took it to Florida, rode around, pulled off of Publix, turned it off, would not start back up. And then it actually the next day sat in the parking lot for an entire day. And when I went out to go start it to try and change it, or try to start it, pull up on the trailer to move, it would not start. And that was just sitting there. So what that tells me is that I have a radiant heat problem, okay? There's a difference between ambient temperature and radiant heat. So it can be 100 degrees outside, but when the pavement is black tar and it's sitting there, the radiant heat coming off that pavement is probably somewhere between 3 to 4 to 500 degrees. I mean, you can literally cook eggs, bacon, whatever you want on that type of concrete, right? There's a lot of heat that's coming off. All right, now, the thing that's different about this bike versus most, which guys are having this problem, you probably need to think about this. When you're looking at it, you can see that I have dual exhaust on both ends, okay? The pipe, sorry, this is the CDI box. This is the Dynajet that's on there. But you can look, and there's an exhaust pipe that runs underneath that. Now, you can see here, the battery sits here. The injector drive box sits right on the side of it, right here. It's only inches away from that exhaust pipe. It's also only inches away from radiant heat coming off the pipe, or off the concrete, okay? Now, when you look at this drive box, you can see there's obvious heat damage, okay? Now, do I think this module is bad? No. What I think that's happening is that when the radiant heat becomes a certain temperature, that the drivers, okay, the drivers inside the module start shutting down, because you can literally take a piece of wire and you can ohm each end of it and it'll show 0 ohms. But you start heating that wire and then you will start seeing a higher resistance. So what's happening is inside this module, when it starts heating up or it gets that hot, what's happening is the resistance becomes too high inside the module. And all this is a ground box. So what it does is when you're riding, it literally grounds its circuits. Well, if the resistance on those circuits become too high, then these circuits will shut down. And they'll shut down the drivers. This is a driver box, so it essentially drives the power to your coil packs up front that run your spark plug wires, okay? So this box, you can get them all day long online for like $100. Now, most of them that I've seen online for sale for $100 look just like this one. A brand new one ranges in the range of $900 to probably, I saw them up to $1,300, okay? I don't want to spend that much money, so there's a couple things that I'm going to do, okay? And we're going to see if it works, and I'm going to upload another video if this does work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a deflective barrier, okay, like a deflective tape that I'm going to put the insulator back on the drive box, and I'm going to wrap it. And this insulator tape, it protects items up to 2,500 degrees of radiant temperature. So I'm going to wrap this box. I'm also going to take exhaust tape, and I'm going to wrap the mid pipe here from this side to that side, so it will lower the radiant temperature coming off of the exhaust pipe to the battery and also to the drive box. Now, there's one thing about this bike that I saw that is wrong, is this bike should run an AGN battery, and it is running a just regular lead cell battery. There's a couple different problems with that. AGN batteries, they charge at a lower rate, so charging systems are different. So they will actually overcharge these batteries, and they will melt the cells down inside the battery. So the battery may have enough cold cranking amps to turn the motor over, but it doesn't put out enough voltage under high heat stress or really low temperature, really near extreme temperatures, to turn this on. So I could have two different problems here. So I'm going to eliminate it all. I have ordered an AGN battery for this bike that I'm going to put in it. I'm going to wrap this module in a deflective tape to keep it protected from the radiant heat. And I'm going to wrap the exhaust to keep the radiant heat off of the battery in this box that literally sent, they are about a 6-inch gap between the two of them. And we're gonna see how it works out. I have researched this, I have Googled it, I have looked at forums. Nobody can really come up with a fix for this problem. I've seen a lot of people have problems with it. So I'm thinking that I've come up with a fix. So we'll see how it works. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ride it throughout the season. I'm gonna really put it through some rigorous heat. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, so the temperatures down here get pretty harsh. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. If you like the video, or if this gave you any type of knowledge or any type of help, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see what happens. Thanks, guys.